126,000 gallons of oil spilled into the ocean from an offshore rig in Orange County. It's the largest U.S. oil spill in 3 decades, and experts say the beaches might be closed for weeks or even months. Here in Long Beach, we might be lucky enough to never see that kind of damage. The demand for gas was low during the height of the pandemic as many employees were working from home. Now, as more and more people are returning to the office and travel is opening up again, that demand continues to rise. While students prepare for upcoming midterms, many are wondering if their classes are in danger of returning to Zoom. There have been nearly 300 COVID cases on campus so far this semester, and anyone in contact with a positive test may have to temporarily return to remote learning. Gas prices are rising to as much as $5 per gallon, and it looks like they'll keep rising.
And I got a V8. I like to race, so I'm racing through my paycheck.
The higher price of oil is also raising the cost of heating your house, which will affect many lower-income families this winter.
Ridiculous. I used to fill up with $40. Now I'm filling like 3/4 of the way there, so it's a little, it's a little high.
The demand for gas was low during the height of the pandemic as many employees were working from home. Now, as more and more people are returning to the office and travel is opening up again, that demand continues to rise. Gas prices in LA County are up $1.40 from last year, and the cost of heating your house could increase by 30% compared to last winter's prices. But Long Beach locals are still planning for holiday travel.
I love to travel, and I'll travel kind of no matter what, and I'll just budget a little bit more for gas.
Traveling across the country for Christmas, and it is what it is. It's just a little bit extra of the budget, that's all.
Experts say the price of gasoline could continue to increase 45% by June of next year. The Biden administration is currently making efforts to lower those gas prices. Sophia Johnson, Campus Connection. Empty beaches. Oil washed up on shore. The devastating effects of an oil spill are already visible in Huntington Beach as cleanup crews in hazmat suits line the shore.
Every year, these tankers blows up and so the damage is just cataclysmic.
126,000 gallons of oil spilled into the ocean from an offshore rig in Orange County. It's the largest U.S. oil spill in 3 decades, and experts say the beaches might be closed for weeks or even months. Here in Long Beach, we might be lucky enough to never see that kind of damage. Long Beach officials are monitoring the situation, but right now, the current is pushing the oil south of Huntington Beach.
It's been one of the safest places, during COVID because it's open, it's social distance.
Health officials are urging residents of Huntington to stay away from beaches in case of contact with potential hazards, including toxic fumes.
I was looking forward to the air show, looking forward to surfing over the weekend, and all this weekend. Obviously, those plans changed, but there's bigger concerns right now.
The California Department of Fish and Wildlife is saying they only need volunteers with experience cleaning up oil spills. Members of the public can help by staying away from closed beaches and donating to the Wetlands and Wildlife Care Center. CSULB classes are back in session this fall, with 42% of classes on campus for in-person learning. Students on campus are required to wear masks and show proof of vaccination.
Honestly, it saves me a lot of trouble worrying about what's going on the lower half, such as taking pictures or just an awkward smile.
While students prepare for upcoming midterms, many are wondering if their classes are in danger of returning to Zoom. There have been nearly 300 COVID cases on campus so far this semester, and anyone in contact with a positive test may have to temporarily return to remote learning. Implementing a mask mandate is just one of the ways that CSULB is staying safe, but it isn't always 100% effective. Some classes this school year have already moved online.
A week and a half into the course, somebody had a COVID exposure, and so we all had to get COVID tests, and if you weren't vaccinated, you had to quarantine for a certain amount of period.
Masks are still 50 to 70% effective against virus particles according to the CDC, and students are prepared to continue wearing them.
Or you had to take the test within like 72 hours of the notice, and then since then, whenever you got your results back, you could go back if you were vaccinated or if you weren't vaccinated.
Over 13,000 students and staff members are now fully vaccinated. CSULB is updating their protocols as the CDC releases new information. Stay up to date by checking csulb.edu and recent CDC announcements.
Backed up ships at the Port of Long Beach have left many Los Angeles area residents waiting longer for their packages. The holiday season is forecasted to increase shopping by almost 25% through September in comparison to 2020. But supply chain disruptions are expected to affect delivery dates. Starting today, the Port of Long Beach will be implementing fines for cargo containers that have stayed over 13 days at terminals to help reduce traffic and get those holiday packages delivered sooner.
I've been trying to look ahead of time because I know, like, with COVID and a lot of people doing holiday shopping, that stuff gets backed up and I don't want it to come like way after the holidays.
The disruptions could affect product prices, shortages, and travel, leaving many last-minute shoppers scrambling for gifts. Biden's plan to improve port infrastructure should reduce those shipping delays, but those effects might not come into play until after this holiday season. If you're a Long Beach local, you'll be happy to hear that the Daisy Lane Parade is back and better than ever. The coronavirus prevented the parade from taking place last year, but with safety precautions, residents are now welcome to join in on the fun. The parade highlights schools, organizations, and decorated cars, so don't miss out. The parade is happening on December 11th from noon to 4 p.m. For the first time in more than a year, academic and social clubs got to meet students in person. Week of Welcome is where everyone gets to see what these clubs have to offer. Over 200 campus clubs showcased the organizations to the Long Beach State community. The pandemic forced last year's events to take place virtually. Although social distancing policies were in place, students of Long Beach State community were excited to share their clubs with the incoming freshmen. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sophia Johnson.
And I'm Christian Vasquez. See you next time on Campus Connection.